Are you doing the thing on stream and
We are live on Rumble and YouTube right now. Good afternoon, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I am Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you are you? Today is, what is it today? Tuesday? Is today Tuesday? I don't know.
Tuesday, yes.
Okay, aka Tuesday. January 6, 2026. I realized yesterday, researching writing for today.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Today's date.
6th?
January 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nightmare word in U.S. Anyway, this show is about interesting and important events that happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with the year 878. Is that right? Yeah, okay, I guess. Alfred, King of Wessex, was surprised by a nighttime attack in Chippenham by the great Viking army led by Guthrum the Dane. Alfred escapes into the Somerset marshes. All right.
He's a guitarist, right? Albert King.
Alfred, King of Wessex.
I know.
So, 1066, Harold II, Harold Godwinson, was crowned King of England after the death of his brother-in-law, Edward the Confessor. From the other source, following the death of Edward the Confessor the previous day, the Witan met to confirm Harold Godwinson as the new King of England. Harold was crowned the same day, sparking a succession crisis that would eventually lead to the Norman conquest of England. That escalated quickly.
Boy.
Yeah. Moving on up to 1227, Ferrand, Count of Flanders, fled from the Louvre after being held prisoner for 12 years by the French. A lot of people don't realize that the Louvre, the famous museum of art, it was a palace. It was a royal residence. It was a building of government, and it had a prison.
It has a whole structure. Yeah, there is that exactly what you're talking about is all around it.
Yeah.
The Louvre with the pyramid is just the centerpiece of it that goes underground. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Louvre is a huge building.
Yeah, well, it used to be like a whole palace.
Yeah.
So. 4043, San Marco convent designed by architect Michelozzo with an altarpiece by Fra Angelico was consecrated in the presence of Pope Eugene IV of Florence, or in Florence. And actually, we have some pictures to go along with today. So this is, I think it was just the courtyard, not the entire building. So the courtyard was designed or something. Still pretty cool looking courtyard.
Yeah.
So, actually, I have it up here, so I can start going down the thing. Get rid of this. Don't need that anymore. 1494, the first Mass in the New World was celebrated at La Isabella, Hispaniola. All right. 1497, Jews were expelled from Graz in Styria, Austria. Oh, here we go. Why? Oh.
Yeah, they don't say much, do they? Just
they
kind of like to know why.
Oh, we are victims. Okay. 1501, construction began on Portugal's Jerónimos Monastery, designed by architect Diogo de Boitaca to commemorate the return of Vasco da Gama from India. All right. And it was this building here.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
1536, the first European school of higher learning in the Americas, Colegio de Santa Cruz de Tlatelolco, was founded by Viceroy Antonio de Mendoza and Bishop Juan de Zumaranaga in Mexico City. Mendoza! If you ever see The Simpsons, Mendoza is a recurring fictional character in a movie series.
My sixth grade teacher, Mr. Mendoza.
Ah, all right. 1639, Virginia ordered half of its tobacco crop destroyed to support plunging prices and avoid an economic catastrophe. The first colony to order the destruction of crops. What else do we got here? 1681, the first recorded boxing match was organized by Christopher Monk, second Duke of Albemarle, between his butler and his butcher. And there was a picture. I guess it's gone now. That's pretty cool. The first recorded boxing match.
But between the baker and the butcher, or whoever it was, again,
the butler and the butcher. Yeah. Well, it was a duke.
Was it to settle a dispute or what?
No, this was like the epitome of the aristocracy. Like why everybody to this day still hates rich people. They view the servants as lesser things. He organized this for his own entertainment.
Ah, that's
yeah. No, it's sick.
Ugly.
So
do you know that for a fact? Is that part of it?
Well, I mean,
Or
it says
is that
here,
conjecture?
the first recorded boxing match was organized by Christopher Monk, 2nd Duke of Albemarle. Okay, so he's a
But
duke.
it could have been to settle a dispute between them. He said, we'll figure that. We'll settle this.
Well, maybe.
You guys duke it out.
But,
I like to go with that better.
well, keep in mind, these wealthy people, they're not human. So, 1720, the Committee of Inquiry in the South Sea Bubble published its findings. Okay, and what the hell is the South Sea Bubble? Is there a bubble just floating out there? Is it made of soap? What's going on? Let us know in the comment section.
Clean.
Yeah, 1720, the committee, we got that one. 1721, the committee of, okay, so this is the same thing. The Committee of Inquiry on the South Sea Bubble published its findings, revealing details of fraud among company directors and corrupt politicians. Okay,
so more to it.
Well, no, that was the next year. And that's from
okay.
my other source.
So
we have a description. I was just talking with Mr. GTO here before the show about how they're constantly like changing things, especially like at 2015 and up to present.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so much things happening, and right now we have discrepancy. Like it's just 1 year, but still, 1773, Massachusetts slaves petitioned legislator for freedom. All right, I hope they got it. 1781, in the Battle of Joyzy, the British, under the command of Major Francis Pearson, defeated the last attempt by France to invade Jersey and the Channel Islands. So I guess that was during the French and Indian... Well, no, I can't.
That's
1781. Oh, okay. So that was... no, that's not too early. That's when the French were coming to our aid during the Revolution.
Okay.
So, because 1776 to 1784 was the Revolution. 1821, Indiana State Legislature approved the development of the future capital city of Indianapolis. All right. So this is when Indianapolis first got its, imagination. 1832, New England Anti-Slavery Society organized in Boston. All right. 1838, Samuel Morse and Alfred Vail demonstrated their telegraph machine in New Jersey. So it says here from the other source, in New Jersey, Samuel Morse, Alfred Vail, and colleagues demonstrated a telegraph system using dots and dashes. This was the forerunner of Morse code.
Yeah.
And another article of the same thing says Alfred Vail and colleagues demonstrated a telegraph system using dots and dashes, the forerunner of Morse code. So, anyway, 1839, two-day storm off the Irish and English coast is immortalized as the Big Wind. It was the most damaging storm in 300 years, swept across Ireland, damaging and destroying more than 20% of the houses in Dublin.
Wow.
Yikes.
I wonder if there's a bunch of hot air.
Well, it was cold air, I think. I don't know.
I think
1847, Samuel Colt obtained his first contract for the sale of revolver pistols to the United States government. Now, we spoke about this yesterday or the day before, but I think that's when he sold.
Those were right. That was his first gun.
Yeah.
That was
the Colt revolver.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but like, it could have been like from 1848.
Well, yeah.
See, like time. You have to look at time in a weird way when you're doing history shows and history things like this. 1857, patent for reducing zinc ore granted to Samuel Witherhill in Pennsylvania. Okay. 1861, New York City mayor proposed New York become a free city, trading with North and South. Well, that sounds like you care about money more than human rights and morals and ethics. The almighty dollar.
Well, no, wait a minute. I think that's a way of stabilization, too.
Well, no, they just wanted to trade. Like, they, a city of the Union, wanted to trade with the very people that we were actually fighting and killing. That's un-American. That's traitor.
Have you never heard of the term peace through free trade?
Not when people are killing each other. Like if the people...
Maybe that
might
might stop the killing.
No, if your company is housed in a country, and you are doing business with people the country is at war with, then that is treason against that country, and you should be kicked out.
Well, you're conjecturing things in here.
You need to support the people who allow you to be there.
Fine, move on.
Am I wrong? Like they give you the right to be there.
You're not seeing the other possibility. They're doing it openly. They're not covertly trying to make extra money under the table.
Okay, but this is a whole city, not just one company. The mayor of New York City is trying to turn the entire city into this, and that's just not right. I'm sorry. That's a city of the United States, not a city of the Confederacy. Anyway, 1870, inauguration of the Musikverein Concert Hall in Vienna, Austria, designed by Danish architect Theophil Hapson for the Society of Friends of Music in Vienna, built on land provided by Emperor Franz Joseph I. All right, this is an image of it. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
1783, U.S. Congress began investigating the Credit Mobilier scandal, a fraud by the Union Pacific Railroad and Credit Mobilier of America in the construction of the first transcontinental railroad.
Ah.
Yeah. 1883, Ontario Rugby Football Union formed. Okay.
Rugby, okay.
Yeah. 1893, Great Northern Railway connects Seattle with East Coast. That's pretty interesting.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. Oh, that's transcontinental, not Great North. But that's pretty interesting that they're only actually 20 years apart to the exact calendar date. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
1893 as well, the Washington National Cathedral was chartered by Congress. The charter was signed by President Benjamin Harrison.
Oh.
We've been there.
Yeah. It's really beautiful.
It is. And it's the largest cathedral in the New World, I think, or at least in the United States.
I think so, yeah.
But compared to the mid-sized cathedrals in Europe, it is puny, let alone the big ones. I want to see Notre Dame so bad. 1896, we have first U.S. women's 6-day bicycle race started at Madison Square Garden. Yeah. 1898, first telephone message from a submerged submarine by Simon Lake. And I actually have I'm not sure if that's an actual photo. It looks like a photo. But it was
It looks like a photo, yeah.
But it had wheels. There was a diagram, and they actually just let it submerge and go underwater on a ramp, and they had a cable attaching it. But they're just testing to see if they can transmit messages from underwater.
Yeah.
First telephone message from a submerged submarine. So they had it connected. It's not wireless yet. That's still pretty cool. Proof of concept, 1907, Maria Montessori opened the first Montessori school in Rome. Her first
1907?
Yeah, her first school and daycare center for working class children. That Montessori almost seemed like an upper echelon thing to me. Right? How are they working class? Oh.
Well, I don't know. Back in 1907.
Maybe. 1912, geophysicist and meteorologist Alfred Wegener presented his controversial theory of continental drift in a lecture to the Geological Association at the Sackenberg Museum in Frankfurt. So, Geological Varian, whatever, at Frankfurt. I guess that's German?
I don't know.
Yeah. But continental drift,
Yeah.
Before then, people just believed that everything was just... That's how it was. It's always been
solid,
static.
Yeah. Solid.
1912, New Mexico became the 47th U.S. state. It's pretty cool.
Oh, New Mexico. Yeah. Okay.
No. If anything, we'll probably annex Mexico after Canada, but we'll only annex them after we officiate making Puerto Rico a state, the Philippines a state, buying Greenland. Then we'll come after Canada, and then maybe Mexico. So that's how I would do it. Don't I play Hawaii 4? That's a good strategy, actually. 1914, stock brokerage firm Merrill Lynch was founded. Yeah. And 1921, the Iraqi army was formed. 1925, Mikhail Frunze replaced Leon Trotsky as People's Commissioner of Military and Native Affairs, Minister of Defense, as Trotsky and Joseph Stalin battled for power in the aftermath of Vladimir Lenin's death. We spoke about this the other day. Stalin was just too clever.
Yeah.
And Lenin knew that Stalin was going to be trouble, so he tried to give him a nothing position, and Joseph Stalin, that cunning shrew, turned a nothing position into something.
Yeah.
He made him the general secretary. What the hell is a general secretary? You're a glorified desk jockey.
Yeah.
But because he had the ability to schedule people, he manipulated things in his favor, and he took over the Soviet Union. Oh my God.
It actually enabled him to accumulate great power.
Yeah. He was going to do what he wanted to do, and nobody, not even, Vladimir Lenin, can stop him. Hell, not even Hitler could do anything about him. Nobody can do anything. We even allied with him.
Yeah.
So, 1925, we got that one as well, though. Mussolini formed a cabinet composed entirely of fascists in Italy. Yep. 1 century ago, in 1926, Kees Boerke opened the first comprehensive school in Holland. All right. 1928, Pope Pius X, or actually no, the 11th, published encyclical Mortarium Animos against oikonomeny. It actually says here, they updated this since last night. The minds of mortals on religious unity and against some presumptions of the early ecumenical movement. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Like, ecumenical? Ecumenical? I think so.
No idea.
I don't know. Some of these Latin words just make my tongue want to jump off a bridge. So, anyway, what else do we got here? 1929, Alexander I established a royal dictatorship in Yugoslavia. That's not good. From the other source here, King Alexander of the Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes suspended his country's constitution. This event is known today as the January 6th dictatorship. Yikes. Although, good news here, Mother Teresa in 1929 arrived in Calcutta to begin her work amongst India's poorest and sickest people. Or just the sick people in general.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people, they wonder, like, how people like Mother Teresa can even exist with just the amount of love and giving and nurture, that they're here for the world. They bleed for humanity. Well, if you look at her birth date, August 26, 1910, in Albania, Ottoman Empire, she was 4 years old when World War I broke out in her front yard.
Yeah.
Okay, so, she knew what it was like to not want that crap anymore. So, moving on up to 1930, Australian cricket icon Don Bradman scored 452 not out for New South Wales versus Queensland and Sydney. Then, world record individual score in a first-class match scored in 415 minutes.
Cricket.
1930 as well, the first diesel engine automobile trip in a Packard sedan was completed. From the other source, Klesi Cummins arrived in the National Automobile Show in New York City, having driven a car powered by one of his diesel engines fitted into a Packard sedan for Indianapolis. All right, so the diesel engine. Thomas Edison in 1931 submitted his last patent application for an electroplating component just 2 days before his death. Yeah, he was trying to get into our industry now, that bastard. Friggin'
Electroplating.
Yeah, greedy SOB. May he electroplate his ass in hell's half acre. 1933, Clyde Barrow killed Tarrant County Deputy Sheriff Malcolm Davis after walking into a trap set for another criminal.
Is that Bonnie and Clyde guy?
That's Clyde, at least. Yeah. 1936, Barbara Hanley became Canada's first woman mayor in Webwood, Ontario. All right. 1938, bronze memorial statue of explorer Henry Hudson erected in the Bronx, New York. And Henry Hudson, man, he in the very bay, like Hudson River, Hudson Bay, in that area, his crew mutinied against him. Him and his supporters were put on a lifeboat or something and set adrift, and they just disappeared in the wild, never to be heard or seen from again. That's pretty crazy for somebody like Hudson,
Yeah.
But then again, I forgot who it was. I think it was Vasco da Gama. I'm not sure, but another explorer on the Sandwich Islands, now known as Hawaii, pissed off the Hawaiians, a stereotypically peaceful people, so much that they killed him.
Oh, man. Yeah, that doesn't sound like them at all.
No, but they were fed up with his crap, that was for sure. 1940 as well, a mass execution of Poles committed by Germans in the city of Ponzan, Warthegu. That sucks. 1 year later, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt delivered his For Freedom speech during his State of the Union address, outlining freedom of speech and worship and freedom from want and fear. We can use that these days, especially, for certain people that are just being attacked on all fronts in every way. 1942, MLB pitcher Bob Feller reports for duty in Norfolk, Virginia after enlisting in the U.S. Navy. Yeah.
It's a great pitcher.
Yep. And a great man, going and fighting for what he believed in. 1942, Pan American Airways became the first commercial airline to complete a flight around the world. The aircraft California Clipper was rechristened Pacific Clipper after the feat. Now, we're going to have an interesting repeat of that here in a minute, and I'll explain why it seems like a discrepancy, but it's actually not. 1946, Pope Pius the 13th published the 12th, published the encyclical Quae Madomium, pleading for the care of the world's destitute children after World War II. They added that after I did that already, so I'm going to add that to this here really quick. What else do we got here? 1946, Vietnam held its first ever general election. All right.
Yeah, that didn't last.
Yeah.
Of course, they still may have elections. Who knows?
Yeah, you're right. No. Like, that was when they were still under French rule, and Ho Chi Minh started his bullshit 4 years later in 1950. Because we covered that the other day.
Yeah.
I remember that. Now, this is what I was talking about. 1947, Pan American Airlines offered a round-the-world ticket, the first commercial airline to do so, on the Pacific Clipper. Why can't I read? I'm having a stroke. But this is, completing a journey, but not necessarily have it as a commercial flight.
Right.
So that's why it seems like, there's a discrepancy, but there's actually not if you look into the semantics. 1950, Britain recognized Communist government of China. That was unintelligent of them. 1951, Ganghwa massacre. Hundreds of South Korean communist sympathizers were slaughtered. Yikes. In the course of which, an estimated 200 to 1,300 South Korean communist sympathizers were killed. I don't support communism, but I support killing people even less than that. So, 1951, Indianapolis Olympians beat Rochester Royals 75-73 in NBA record 6 overtimes.
Oh, jeez.
Also the longest game in NBA history. We also have 51, Indianapolis. We got that one. 1953, Dutch passenger ships William Royce and Orange collide in the Red Sea near Port Sudan, seriously damaging both vessels without injuring the 1,750 passengers. All right, good. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
1953, the first Asian Socialist Conference opened in Burma. That's some bad news right there. 1956, federal court barred former Little League commissioner Carl Stoltz from forming a rival group. That's what
Who banned him from doing that?
The federal court.
Good Lord.
They just said no. Like, there shall only be one Little League. So, I guess it makes it easier for them to control it and harvest the adrenochrome. Who knows? 1958, Moat Britannia flew from London to New York in a record 7 hours and 57 minutes in 1958.
Jeez.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
1958 as well, Gibson Guitars launched their Flying V electric guitar model, eventually used by Albert Collins, Jimi Hendrix, Mark Bolan of T-Rex, Fave Davies of the Kinks, and Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top. This article was removed from the original source for some reason. And I forgot, so this is that's the car he drove for the diesel engine.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta catch back up here with the pictures that I collected. Cool. That's the Pacific Clipper.
Yeah,
and there's the Flying V
guitar.
There's
the guitar.
Okay, so now we're caught up. And you kind of got a seat what we're going to have coming up in here in the future. 1959, USSR's Luna 1 became the first spacecraft to escape Earth's gravity. We spoke about that yesterday. 1960, the Associations Law came into force in Iraq, allowing the registration of political parties. All right.
Okay, yeah.
1963, Lionel Bart's musical Oliver, based on Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist and featuring a young Davy Jones, opened at Imperial Theater, New York City, running for 774 performances, winning 3 Tony Awards. And this music is getting a little loud. I'm just going to reduce it a little bit. That's the wrong way. There we go. I'm not sure if it's overwhelming for anybody listening or not. But 1964, Rolling Stones' first tour of England as headline act, the Ronettes and the Swinging Blue Jeans, opened for them. Remember the Swinging Blue Jeans?
No.
Okay. 1967, 2 homemade buses collided on a mountain road in Terpate, Philippines, and plunging off a cliff, killing 84 people and injuring 140. Yikes. Not just one homemade bus, but 2. I guess it was, a common thing to have homemade buses. Weird. 1968, Dr. Norman E. Shumway performed the first U.S. adult cardiac transplant operation. Heart transplant.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about something like that later on. Something,
that was major, that heart transplant.
Well, we're going to be talking about transplanting a pig heart into a human. We're going to be talking about that here in the new millennium. 1971, Berkeley chemists announced the first synthetic growth hormones. Of course, California does that crap. We don't need growth hormones. Make natural stuff, man. Come on. Like, we gotta stop straying from nature unless nature does something and kills us all, 1973, Schoolhouse Rock premiered on ABC TV with Multiplication Rock. Remember I'm Just a Bill and all that stuff?
I don't remember that, no.
You don't remember I'm Just a Bill?
No.
And you don't remember Schoolhouse Rock?
No.
Conjunction Junction, what's your function? Wow. Okay. 1974, in response to the 1973 energy crisis, daylight saving time began nearly 4 months earlier in the United States. Yikes.
Yeah.
And while that was going on, the UK began a 3-day work week during energy crisis. Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
1975, 1,000 Led Zeppelin fans waiting overnight inside the lobby of the Boston Garden for tickets to the group's February 4th gig to go on sale caused a riot and an estimated $30,000 damage.
Oh, jeez.
Sell them their tickets. 1975, TV game show Wheel of Fortune debuted on NBC. 1977, Charter 77, a document criticizing the Czech government's human rights abuses, was published in Prague. All right. 1978, first U.S. postage stamp was copywritten, a Carl Sandburg stamp. Let's take a look at that here really quick, actually. I want to see what this stamp looks like. The Carl Sandburg stamp. Okay, so it's just some guy. All right. Carl Sandburg. Why does he look so familiar? I don't know.
Could have been Carl Schmoo, as far as we know.
1978, U.S. handed over St. Stephen Crown to Hungary. And actually, I have a picture right there. So, the poor cross is bent. That's unfortunate, but yeah. And we have 1979, Village People's YMCA became their only UK #1 single. At its peak, it sold over 150,000 copies per day.
Wow.
Whoa!
Per day.
Whoa! For how many days, though? 2, 3, 4?
I don't know.
I mean, that's impressive, but how long did that last? 1980, Indira Gandhi's Congress Party won elections in India. All right. Indira Gandhi. No, I don't think she's related to Mahatma Gandhi, though. I looked that up. I don't think they're related.
Think so.
1980, NHL Philadelphia Flyers set North American professional sports record of 35 straight games without a defeat, 25-0 to 10. We also have the beginning of the first GPS epoch. So I guess this is when GPS really, first started. Global positioning satellite.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton, actually, whatever you think of him, he's the reason why civilians even have GPS. He signed a bill into law authorizing the use of civilians to have access to that military technology.
Oh, okay.
Before that, GPS was about, it got you within, 10, 20, 30 feet? Whereas at the time, military got you within 3 inches or something. Now it's within the micro center or something. Anyway, 1986, Impala Platinum fired 2,000 black mine workers in Johannesburg. Yikes! That has to be part of apartheid. Well, I mean, apartheid had been going on for a while.
Yeah.
So, I'm actually surprised they had blacks have jobs with apartheid. They were second, third class citizens under that crap. So. Yeah,
they should have a little bit more. What did that mean? Did it start a riot or?
Well, they fired them.
Was it justified? Were they stealing coal or whatever they were mining?
Absolutely not. It wasn't justified.
I don't know.
So.
I'm not saying, but they should. The article should give us more information.
It should. I agree. But this is Johannesburg, South Africa, and that was major apartheid headquarters right there. So. Anyway, moving up to 1987, 100th U.S. Congress convenes. All right. We also have astronomers at the University of California witness the first observation of the birth of a galaxy. That's pretty cool.
Whoa.
Yeah. 1989, Satwant Singh and Kailash Singh were sentenced to death for conspiracy in the assassination of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. The two men were executed the same day. Good. 1991, Portland Trailblazers defeated the Seattle Supersonics 114-111 before a sellout crowd at the Portland Memorial Coliseum, or as I like to say, Colosseum, marks the Blazers' 600th consecutive sellout at home. That's awesome.
Yeah.
1992, U.S. government urges doctors to stop using silicone breast implants. outlining the health effects. How about this? How about, like, socially abolish desecrating your body like that? Play the cards you're dealt with.
People like big boobs.
Okay, so find somebody with big boobs. But somebody who, like, puts fake crap in, well, that just tells me that they'll go to any lengths to lie, cheat, and steal to get whatever they want. So why would I want to hook up with that? I don't want to hook up with a liar. 1992, Zvid Gamashir, the president of Georgia, fled the country because of a military coup. Sorry about your name, buddy, but, yeah, I tried, kind of. 1993, 55 Kashmiri civilians were killed in Sopore, Jammu, in Kashmir by Indian border security units. And this was in revenge after militants ambushed a BSF patrol.
It sounds like China-India flare-up.
No, India,
Kashmir.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Not Pakistan.
Not China.
Pakistan? Yeah, Pakistan. Well, what's weird is that this doesn't say that second part. I got that from my other source.
Oh.
So our primary source is trying to make the Indians look bad. And the secondary source is just like, well, yeah, the Indians did do that, but in revenge for what the freaking Pakistanis did first. They swung first.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. You got to report on the facts and nothing but the facts and just the facts. That's it. And that's what we do here. And, our source, which is leftists, I'm not surprised that they're trying to make India look bad and Pakistan look good with how everything else is going. Moving on up to 1994, U.S. figure skating champion Nancy Kerrigan was attacked by Tonya Harding's bodyguard at the U.S. Championships in Detroit, Michigan. The assailant was hired by a rival, Tonya Harding's ex-husband, during the U.S. Figure Skating Championships in Detroit.
Tried to hit her knees or something to take her out of competition.
Yeah.
That was pretty ugly.
Yeah. I don't care about my driver updates. 1995, Atlanta Hawks coach Lenny Wilkins passed the legendary Red Auerbach to become the NBA's all-time winningest coach, which that is a word, by the way, winningest. Sounds like something that your 2-month-old would make up, but that's a real word. With 939 career victories, Hawks beat Washington 112-90 at the Omni. Not to be confused with us, no relation. So, we also have a chemical fire in an apartment complex in Manila, Philippines, led to the discovery of plans for Project Bojinka, a mass terrorist attack. Yeah, you guys lucked out in finding that.
No kidding.
Yeah. Moving on up to 2000, the last Pyrenean ibex was found dead after being crushed by a tree. Aww.
Who?
An ibex. It's a type of animal. It's like
okay.
It's like an antelope of sorts. Like, let me look this up here. There we go. Oh, actually, it's more like a goat. That's right.
Looks like a ram.
Yeah. But, the last one was found crushed by a tree. That's unfortunate. So, oh well, natural selection. Yeah. 2005, Mississippi civil rights workers' murders. Edgar Ray Killen was arrested as a suspect in the 1964 murders of 3 civil rights workers. So, justice took her sweet time with that, but at least got him. So, what were you going to say?
Hey, boy, that took a long time.
Yeah. The murders of Cheney, Goodman, and Schwerner, specifically. 2005, a train collision in Graniteville, South Carolina, released about 60 tons or 120,000 pounds of chlorine gas. And I don't know how you measure gas in weight, but so that's not good.
Yeah.
2009, Israel began an assault on the Gaza Strip. Expansion. 2016, Governor of California. Now, isn't Jerry Brown King Med?
Yes.
Okay, so I do have that nickname. So Jerry Kingmed Brown declared a state of emergency over methane gas leaks on outskirts of Los Angeles. Wow, what a fitting article then. So, do you want to let us, the viewers, know why he's known as Kingmed?
Yeah. It's not coming to me right away. I've forgotten now the nickname.
Spraying your car.
Yeah. We had a bug infestation, and he was trying to save California crops were very, very expensive and important to the state. So at night you had to go in your house, close your doors and windows and all that stuff because they sprayed the whole state.
Yeah.
You know, at least the southern part of it, with these
Pesticides.
Yeah. What a mess.
I know.
And they said it'll be perfectly safe. Take your car in so it doesn't eat the paint. Wait a minute. You know. So it was a Mediterranean fruit fly. So hence the nickname King Med.
Yeah. I'm reading the comments. Sorry, Green Thumb. I just saw that you have a lot of comments here. Continuing what we were talking about from before the show and everything, but you're talking about UNICEF is a product of Mother Teresa? I can believe that, but I just need to know a little bit more. That's very intriguing. You make a show in Canada, Quebec, or on Carlos the Jackals. I have something on this subject. Well, we could probably talk about it in IOYO someday, or, I don't know. Moving on up, what else do we got here? 2019, Malaysian King Sultan Muhammad V abdicated after 2 years of rule in a historic first, the first monarch to do so. Yeah. We also have a record 3.1 million or 333.6 million yen. Price for giant bluefin tuna at Tokyo's Toyoshu Fish Market bought by sushi restaurant owner Kiyoshi Kimura. Wow. Can you imagine spending $3.1 million on one fish?
It's not a dollar. It's I guess it is a dollar, isn't it?
A dollar?
Yeah.
What dollar?
I was going by a yen, but it's a dollar.
Well,
$3.1 million.
At the time,
was,
yeah, this is the exchange.
333, yeah. Okay.
That's how much he paid in his country's money, because that's where they were, but in conversion rates, so we understand that's how much it is.
Yeah.
So, 2021, more than 50 pro-democracy activists were rounded up and arrested in Hong Kong. Oh boy, did they use the pandemic to their benefit to just squash any form of freedom in that abysmal dog shit excuse of a nation. 2021, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un says country's 5-year economic plan had failed at opening of a rare meeting of the Workers' Party. At least he has enough, chutzpah to admit that he's, not doing all right.
Don't say anything failed.
Yeah.
Very rare for them to say that.
Well, I'm not sure if you remember the ship launch that was a disaster. Like they invested all this money into this new warship, and it floundered or something immediately. It was a failure of a launch, and now it's sunk.
Oh no!
Or something. Oh my god! Oh. 2021. Oh, here we go. And I just want to remind everybody that our source is incredibly leftist. So let me just read this crap. Supporters, quote unquote, of U.S. President Donald Trump stormed the Capitol in Washington, D.C. during Congress's certification of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's stolen election, resulting in 5 deaths and prompting the evacuation of lawmakers and Vice President Mike Pence. Let us not forget, what was her name? Babbitt got murdered by a black police officer, and they gave him an award because he's the right color.
She was unarmed, we might say that. Tell that, too. Yeah,
also unarmed. But, they got that cracker. So, that's all they care about. At least the system. But, resulting in 5 deaths, including an innocent white female shot needlessly by a black uniformed officer, the details of which weren't disclosed until recently. Congress had been evacuated long prior to the incident due to the government's knowing and involvement of the situation. Do not forget that all of the agents that have been since disclosed, this is not speculation. Look into this yourself. A lot of government agents dressed as Joe Schmo everymen, police people, holding the things open, waving people in. It was all orchestrated to utilize as an outright attack against supporters of the other political party. That's all it is.
And they turned down an offer from Trump to have 10,000 National Guardsmen out there to protect the whole thing.
Yep. And you could not accuse this of misinformation. That's all documented. That's all real. So, 2022, New Orleans, Louisiana City Council voted to change the name of Robert E. Lee Boulevard to Allen Toussaint Boulevard. Okay. Well. 2023, new study discovered ancient Roman concrete is stronger than modern concrete because of the use of a hot mixing technique with quick lime that self-healed any cracks over time. That's cool. We gotta do that. So, we also have a U.S. teacher was shot by her 6-year-old student at Rich Neck Elementary School, Newport, Virginia. later hospitalized with gunshot wounds. Well, that's
6-year-old?
you know, the parents obviously just have it lying around or something. They're irresponsible. So, in 2024, Israeli army claims it had destroyed Hamas's command center in northern Gaza and killed more than 8,000 militants. But what do you describe as a militant? An actual militant, or anybody who just is in the way of what you want? 2025, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau promised to resign once a successor for the Liberal Party was found. Thank God there was. Well, maybe. I don't know. They're all crap. So, 2025 as well, a large winter storm caused by a polar vortex moved east across the U.S. from the Central Plains to the Mid-Atlantic, bringing 18 inches of snow to Kansas. Kansas!
Yeah, they don't get snow very often. I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, we covered that green thumb, the green lime thing. They discovered that in the Roman concrete. That's what one of the components as to why it's better than current concrete. We also have U.S. recorded its first person to die from bird flu in southwest Louisiana. And that appears to be the end of the articles. So that shall conclude the show today. Please check the underbar, the description below for anything that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion. Please check our sources for more. For your dose of past events, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. Check the underbar for all of you and all of us. I am Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you, thank you very much for coming and watching, and until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe.